Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Well, this is going to be the sixth video lecture that I'm uploading about the rate, ratio, and proportion. Now, in this video lecture, I'm going to wrap up the contents of all previous lectures and come up with a general formula. In a sense, kind of a deductive mathematical formula that we can apply it to all the problems similar to what we started with. And I have a very important point here to go over, and I please apply it, what advice I have for you. So let's get started, shall we? And I'm going to stay out of your way and zoom this one so that it's more visible to you. Okay, let me read it. A college club has 20 members consisting of freshman, sophomore, junior level, junior and senior, in the ratio of 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, all right, respectively. Now the question is determine the number of freshmen, sophomore, junior, and senior in that club. Now please listen carefully. I wrote the word recipe. I hate that word, but I have a point. Now what is the recipe? Add the constituents of the given ratio. 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 equals to 10. Step 2, divide the result in step 1 into the entire club population, which in this case is 20. So 20 divided by 10 equals to 2. Recipe. Then multiply the quotient. Multiply the quotient in step 2 that we obtain, all right, by each constituents of the given ratio. So 2 times 4, then 2 times 3, then 2 times 2, then 2 times 1. You follow me? Now, I did emphasize the word recipe, and I repeat that one much. I have a very important point in closing these 6 lectures. Please apply my advice. As a experienced teacher, huh? So let me see what my point is about that. Now, I have written purposely, and I have zoomed this so that you pay more attention rather than I stand up and talk about it. Avoid recipe following. I wrote it in red purposely. Now, listen again carefully. Critical thinking demands justification, and the science of mathematics is the coach in training our critical thinking. It's very, very important, please. Cookbook style of following recipe in mathematics problem solving should be avoided by all means. Now, I shouldn't really say should be avoided. Maybe I should emphasize that must be avoided. Must be avoided by all means. Now, recipe following are for the chefs and cooks and belongs to the kitchen. It is not belong to classroom. It is not belong to learning mathematics. It's not learning really. You may do well in the test and get it, but in reality you haven't learned it. Now, I have again that one to go over. Okay, Generalization leads to the deductive mathematical formula. Right now, we are going to generalize the contents of all those five lectures that I have given. So in that one, we start this way. An institution has n number of enrollments. It includes freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior in the ratio of A to B to C to D. So I didn't write 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, but I'm generalizing the same problem, respectively. Where A, B, C, and D are what? Are positive integers. That's an important thing to notice. And also A, B, C, and D are collectively prime. I use the word collectively prime rather than say relatively prime, so that you don't get if two of them are not prime relatively, then you may get a little bit confusion. That means the only number that divides all these A, B, C, and D is 1. No other numbers divide them. If there is any other number that divides all of them, then we have to divide all of them by that number. Then we call that one a unit, a unit ratio. You remember that one? Okay, here, let me continue here again. A, B, C are positive integer and they are collectively prime, as I mentioned, meaning I have already mentioned what that means. Now, determine the number of, no, this is the question that we are asking for this one. He says that determine the number of freshmen, sophomore, junior, and senior in that institution. All right, now let's see what will be the general formula for that. Okay, look what I did. N, which is the total number of population was given to us, divided by A plus B plus C plus D. You see, I wrote it in that form, expanded form. Then, when you divide by that, you get the quotient. That quotient is very important. You remember that from the previous lecture? Then, that quotient times every single of these constituents of the given ratio A to B to C to D. When you multiply, you get the number of the classes that is asked in the problem. In this case, will be n divided by A plus B plus C plus D times A. This is the quotient. This times A gives us the number of freshmen in that institution. Then n divided by same A plus B plus C plus D times B will be number of what? Number of sophomores, and so on and so forth. Again, it is very important to write it in this form rather than writing the summation. Like the other one, we had 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, which was 10. So don't write 10, but write it 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, so that you can use distributive law of multiplication over addition, of multiplying the quotient by that and answering the question that is asked in that problem. Now, in closing, I have now to generalize it even further. So that is not only for this problem. So let me now go over the full generalization in other words. Okay, suppose the student population of some college or what have you is n, all right, consisting of A1, capital A1, capital A2, capital A3, and so on and so forth, A sub m, all right. I read A sub 1, a sub 2, a sub m. Now, constitute the n constituents of this classification in the ratio of a small a I'm using now, a sub 1, a sub 2, a sub 3, and so on and so forth, a sub m. You see how they correspond together, the number of them. This is m number of them, this is also n number of them. Where A1, A2, M are all collectively prime. And we know what that means. The only number that divides all of them is 1. That's very important to notice. Then the following is the corresponding mathematical formula for determining the number of members in each of the classes A1, A2, capital A1, capital A2, capital AN. So what we do, and we already done that, we divide the n by what? By all the A1, A2, A3, small A1, A2, A3, we get quotient. This quotient is very important. Then this quotient times each of these constituents will give us what? Will give us the number of members, the complete number of members in A1, A2, A3, and so on and so forth, as I have written here. Quotient times this, and so on and so forth. Okay, then let me zoom it back. Okay, then I did. My intention was to provide these lectures for the beginner students, developmental and basic algebra, and I hope that they were efficient and productive to you. And I just thank you for watching, and I will be uploading more videos. But because I have so many years experience of teaching, I can very easily relate myself to the way that the student think, and I can very easily put myself in their shoes. So I always present my lecture accordingly, so that the student can get the most out of it. All right, then, I hope again these videos are beneficial to all of you, and I thank you for watching. As always, I wish you all prosperity and good health, and please stay safe. So long.